Welcome to yet another episode of Regular Beer Reviews, where regular doesn't refer to the beers being reviewed, but to the reviewer, myself. I'm Jesse, and this is probably the first video I've done in close to a year. It's been a while since I've sat down and done any reviews. I've had a lot of beers during that time, but I've just been too lazy to sit down and review any. So I'm on vacation this week. I said I want to do at least a few reviews, and I really want to get back into doing them. So today I'm going to be doing a beer that I've never had before. It's pretty appropriate because it is it's fall now. It was just Halloween, but this is Queen of the Night Pale Ale. This is from Cerverceria Mexicana. That's what it said on Beer Advocate. On Rate Beer, it said the Los Muertos Beer Company. And it's Day of the Dead beer, which I believe is in late October or early November. I know it's a Mexican holiday. But, yeah, anyway, I've never had this before. The only reason why I got it today was because at my local beer store, they gave me a good deal. It was I think $11.99 for an entire case of this stuff. So I got 4 6-packs for $12. And I mean, that's like 50 cents a beer. So I figured no matter how bad it is, you can't beat that price. So anyway, let's get into the numbers on this. Beer Advocate gives this a 76, which is just okay, and that's with 17 ratings. The Bros have not had this beer, but Rate Beer gives it a 20 overall with a 6 for the style. It has an ABV of 4.8%. The availability is rotating, even though it seems like it'd be a fall beer. Kind of the spooky theme. And like I said, I know the Day of the Dead is in either late October or early November. I can't remember which. But the style is an American Pale Ale. It has 30 IBUs, which is kind of low for a Pale Ale, but still. And I couldn't find a description for this beer anywhere. It doesn't have one on the bottle, didn't have one on the box or anything. And they didn't have one on Beer Advocate or Rate Beer. And I even looked up on the website for Cerverceria Mexicana. It's the same company that distributes Tecate, I believe, and they did not have any description for this beer. They had a page for the beer, but there was no actual description, so not really sure what to expect. That's a pretty sweet cat there. I like that. The skull almost reminds me of, I used to have a lot of Pogs that looked like that when I was a kid. Remember Pogs, the game? But anyway, so let's go on ahead and get this cracked open. Not really any smoke that I could see. Kind of starting to bubble up here a little bit. I'm just going to use the regular pint glass for this. Going ahead and get it poured. Nice dark color. I didn't really pour that too aggressively, but say a nice, say that's a nice frothy one finger head. It's like a dark beige, maybe really light tan color. The beer itself is a gorgeous color. It's like a dark amber copper color. I'd say it's pretty clear. I can see my hand through it. Light to moderate carbonation. Not seeing a whole lot of bubbles streaming up. Overall, it's a little dark for a pale ale, but it's still, it's a beautiful looking beer. So let's go ahead and get a nose on this. That smells good. That smells very hoppy. The hops are a little bit piney, but very earthy, very robust. The malts on this are nice, like a light caramel, I'd say, light caramel malt. It smells very sweet. It smells like there are hints of brown sugar in there. Very, very earthy, almost earthy, spicy type hop. Smells pretty good, so let's go ahead and jump into this one. That's good. That's pretty good. I can taste the hops, but it's really malty, but I can definitely taste the hops in there, but no bitterness from them whatsoever. They really lend more to aroma and just a little bit on the flavor. There's not really any bitterness there. I can definitely taste, again, earthy, piney, maybe the slightest, almost, they add almost to a little bit of a dryness to the mouthfeel of it, but there's almost no bitterness there. It's mainly malt on the flavor. The malts are very, very sweet. It tastes like almost like honey or brown sugar. A little bit caramely, a little bit burnt. It's pretty simple. It's not too complex. This is pretty good. I wouldn't call it. You know, if you blindfolded me and gave this to me, I wouldn't think that it was a pale ale. It's almost more. The carbonation's a little heavier on the mouthfeel than it is on the appearance. I said light to heavy, or light to moderate on the appearance. I'd say it's a little more moderate to heavy on the mouthfeel. It's a little more bubbly. This almost reminds me of like a hoppy lager, almost like a Sam Adams Boston lager or something, as opposed to, but not even quite as bitter as that. And I mean, Boston lager is not, it's not too overly hopped at all. Not very bitter whatsoever. This, I would say, is even less bitter than that. So, like if you blindfolded me and gave this to me, I would think that it's a hoppy lager. It's still good. It's a refreshing beer. It's tasty. As far as the style goes, it doesn't really execute very well, but it looks good, smells good, tastes good. Not what I would expect for a pale ale. It's not bitter enough. 30 IBUs, I wouldn't even say it was that to me. And I'm not sure how. I didn't look for a date on this bottle. I'm not sure how fresh it is, but assuming that, I mean, again, it's Day of the Dead. It says the availability is rotating, but I'm assuming that this was brewed for fall. And I mean, it's only just hit November now. I think today's like the 3rd or 4th. So I'm assuming it's fresh, but I don't see a date anywhere on there. But I'm assuming it's pretty fresh. But yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I like it, but it's not quite a pale ale to me. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I like this beer. Not quite a pale ale, but like I said, I like it. I think it tastes good, certainly drinkable, and I got a whole case of these for $12, so I'm happy about that. At 4.8%, it's certainly sessionable. You can really enjoy, quite a few of these over the evening without worrying about getting totally hammered. So that's a good thing, and it's refreshing, it's tasty. If you don't like really bitter beers, it's not overly bitter by any means. It's not really bitter at all. But you can taste the hops in there. There's a nice hoppy presence. So I'm going to go ahead and give this 7 out of 10. For me, that's an average. That's like a 70. If you get a 70 on a test, that's a C. So 7 out of 10 for me. I like this beer. I would definitely pick it up again if I could get the same deal that I got on it today. It's a good beer, and I enjoy it. So thank you for watching, and keep watching again in the future for more reviews. Prost.